y'all, welcome back to another tutorial. So this is a bonus video for this week. This is going to be our fourth video of this week. So I am going to try to make it as straight to the point and simple as possible. So for this project, I am going to be using Craft Smart Value yarn in neon pink. Then I'm going to be using some white. This is, I believe, Red Heart. And some black from Red Heart as well. So once you have your main color ready, go ahead and make a slip knot. Grab your 4.25mm hook, insert your hook, and chain up 5. Go ahead and slip stitch into the very first chain. Now you're going to chain 2. This will count as 1 double crochet. Now do 2 more double crochets into this circle. Chain 1. Do 3 double crochets into the same circle. These are going to be our double crochet clusters. Chain 1, another double crochet cluster into the circle. Chain 1, another double crochet into the cluster. Chain 1, and 1 more double crochet cluster into the circle. Chain 1, and then slip stitch into the top of the chain 2 that you did in the beginning of this round. So now you have a total of 3 double crochet clusters. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to go ahead and slip stitch until we get to our first chain space that we created here. So slip stitch into the second double crochet, into the third double crochet, and now into the chain space. So once you've reached that chain space, you're going to chain up 2 and put 2 double crochet clusters into here. That is going to be a cluster increase. So chain 2, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, chain 1, and into that same chain space, we're going to do the same thing again. 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, 3 double crochet, chain 1. And you're going to continue that into each chain space around. You're going to end up with 10 double crochet clusters. Chain 1, and this is what we have so far. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 double crochet clusters. So after your chain 1, again, you're going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 2 from the beginning of the round. slip stitch into the second double crochet of the first cluster, third double crochet of the first cluster, and then into that chain space. So for this entire project, except for 2 rounds, you're going to work into the chain spaces only. So go ahead and chain up 2. You're only going to place 1 cluster into this chain space. 1 double crochet and 2 double crochet. Chain 1, and now into the next chain space, you're going to do a cluster increase. So there we have 1 cluster. We're going to chain 1 and add another into that same space. Chain 1. To the next, it's just going to be 1 cluster, not an increase. Chain 1 into the next cluster, there will be an increase. So a cluster increase here. One cluster, chain 1, and another cluster into the same space. So you're going to begin to notice a pattern here while I'm doing no increase, increase, no increase, increase, no increase, increase, no increase, increase, no increase, increase. I'm going to continue that around this entire round. So next is no increase. Chain 1, increase. No increase. Increase. No increase. Then increase into the very last chain space of this round. Chain 1, slip stitch into that top of the chain 2 from the beginning of the round, into the second double crochet, the third double crochet, and into the chain space. So this is what your work should look like so far. In this last round, in round 3, you should have a total of 15 clusters. So for the next round, round 4, we're going to do no increase, no increase, increase. No increase, no increase, increase. No increase, no increase, increase until we make it all the way around. So chain up 2, no increase, chain 1, no increase, chain 1, increase, chain 1, cluster into the same chain space for your increase. chain 1, no increase, chain 1, no increase, chain 1, increase into the next chain space, chain 1 and another cluster into that same chain space for your increase. Chain 1, no increase, chain 1, no increase, chain 1, increase into the next chain space. So you're going to continue that pattern for the rest of round 4. So again, it's no increase, no increase, increase, no increase, no increase, increase, no increase, no increase, increase. So I'm going to meet you back around when we're getting ready to go into round 5. All right, so for our last increase of round 4, we're going to chain 1, 1 cluster, chain 1 in the second cluster. Chain 1 and then slip stitch into the top of the chain 2 from the beginning of this round. Slip stitch into the second double crochet, slip stitch into the third, then slip stitch into the chain space. So for round 5, there will be no increases, so you're just going to complete 1 cluster in each chain space. Chain up 2 and begin your clusters. So I am finishing up my round 5. Here you will begin to see that your work is beginning to circle out, as well as you should have a total of 25 clusters for this round. Chain 1, slip stitch into the top of the chain 2 from the beginning of the round, slip stitch, second double crochet, and third double crochet, then into the chain space. So this is how your work should be looking now. You're beginning to see an actual circle instead of those weird points from your increases. Okay, so now we're going to begin going downward, building the height of our bucket hat. So now you're going to chain 1, single crochet into that chain space, back post only single crochet into the next 3 double crochets. So instead of going into this top stitch as you normally would for a single crochet, you're going to bring your hook around the back of the post, like so. If you don't know how to do back post only single crochet, I am going to recommend that you check out another YouTube tutorial on how to properly do this. This tutorial is intended to teach how to make the hat, not back post. So pretty much you insert your hook from the back, insert your hook from the front to the back, drop your loop, and single crochet. Again, from the back to the front, from the front to the back, pull up your loop, single crochet, then just go into the chain space as you normally would. Back to front, front to back, drop your loop, drop your loop, and single crochet. Back to front, front to back, drop your loop, single crochet. Back to front, front to back, drop your loop, single crochet into that chain space as you normally would. So not only is this helping you get begin building this way, because this is the top of your bucket hat, you're beginning to build this way, but you're also getting your hat structure. So this single crochet row is something I feel like a lot of people miss, but it definitely is going to actually give you that bucket hat look and fit. So again, from back to front, front to back, drop your loop, single crochet. Back to front, front to back, drop your loop. Oop, I'm struggling. And single crochet. Back to front, front to back, drop your loop, single crochet as you normally would into that chain space. Last time, back to front, front to back, drop your loop, single crochet. Back to front, front to back, drop your loop, single crochet. Back to front, front to back, drop your loop, single crochet. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish off this round off camera. But if you do need more clarity on this, either rewind to go through it again as I work around the round, or go ahead and search up BPO single crochet on YouTube, and you'll find a lot of videos there. So I'll meet you back when we finish up round 6. I am completing my final 3 back post only single crochet. Then I'm going to slip stitch into the very first single crochet of this round. So this is what your work should look like so far. You're going to notice that it has like a slight ribbing here. All right. For the remainder of this video, we're going to be using half double crochet clusters opposed to double crochet clusters. So go ahead and chain up 2 and do 2 half double crochets into that same stitch. Chain 1, skip 3, 1, 2, 3, and 3 half double crochets into the next stitch. Chain 1, skip 3, and a half double crochet cluster into the next stitch. Chain 1, skip 3, half double crochet cluster into the next stitch. Chain 1, skip 3, half double crochet cluster into the next stitch. And continue that sequence around for the remainder of round 7. I'm going to meet you back here when I'm finishing off this round. Now I am onto my last cluster that I need to create. Half double crochet cluster. Chain 1, slip stitch into the top of the chain 2 from the beginning of the row. Slip stitch until you get to the chain space. Chain up 2, pull up your loop, and cut. So we're gonna go into a color change, and this is probably gonna be the only color change that I show for this video because it is all the same. So go ahead and insert your hook into that same space. Create a slip knot with black yarn. Then you're going to pretty much do the same thing, no increases. You're going to chain up 2, 2 more half double crochets into this chain space. Chain 1 into the next chain space. You're going to do a half double crochet cluster again. Chain 1, half double crochet cluster. 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 You're going to continue the same sequence around the entire brim of this hat with only 1 round of black, then 1 round of white, another round of black, and then back into the pink, and I'll meet you there. So this is where we are now. I have worked down a total of 4 rows of half double crochet clusters for the height of our hat. I'm going to go ahead and do 2 more rows of pink and then go back into black, white, black, and then we're going to begin creating the brim. Chain up 2, 2 half double crochets, chain 1, half double crochet cluster into that chain space, chain 1, half double crochet cluster, chain 1, half double crochet cluster, and continue this all the way around until you have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 half double crochet cluster rows. All right, so your bucket hat should now be here. I'm not sure if I mentioned before, but each round has a total of 20 half double crochet clusters each. And then we went down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rounds for the height of the bucket hat. So now we're gonna begin building our brim. So go ahead and reconnect your main color. Slip knot. You're going to chain 1 and do 1 single crochet into that same space. So now for your brim, you're going to do front post only single crochets. So I'll demonstrate it here. So you're gonna go from back to front, then from you're gonna go from front to back, back to front, around the very first half double crochet post. Pull it up and single crochet. Again, front to back, back to front, pull up that loop and single crochet. Front to back, back to front, pull up a loop, single crochet, one single crochet into the same chain space. Front to back, back to front, pull up that loop, single crochet. Front to back, back to front, pull up that loop, single crochet. Front to back, back to front, pull up the loop, single crochet, one single crochet into that chain space. Front to back, back to front, pull up the loop, single crochet. Front to back, back to front, pull up that loop, single crochet. Front to back, back to front, pull up the loop, single crochet, one single crochet into that chain space. So this is going to have our brim going out. This is growing it outward. So go ahead and continue that sequence around, and I'll meet you back to the front of our single crochet round. So you have completed your complete round of front post only single crochets. So you're going to go ahead and slip stitch into the very first single crochet, chain up 2. And this portion of the hat is also going to be worked into half double crochet clusters. Go ahead and add 2 half double crochets into that same space from the previous row. Chain 1, skip 3, into the next, another half double crochet cluster. Chain 1, skip 3, another half double crochet cluster. Chain 1, skip 3, then you're going to do a half double crochet cluster increase. So 1 cluster, chain 1, and into that same stitch, do another half double crochet cluster. And you're going to complete that same sequence around. So no increase, no increase, no increase, increase, another 3 half double crochet clusters, and then an increase, and the same all the way around. So again, chain 1, skip 3, into the next half double crochet cluster, chain 1, skip 3, half double crochet cluster, chain 1, skip 3, half double crochet cluster, chain 1, skip 3, and half double crochet cluster increase. So 1 cluster, chain 1, and another cluster into that same stitch. Oops. finishing up that very last increase of the first round of the rim. So go ahead and slip stitch into the chain 2 from the beginning of the round, into the second half double crochet, maybe, into the third, and into the chain space. So for the next round, we're going to do 4 half double crochet clusters and then an increase, 4 half double crochet clusters and then an increase, and so on around the entire round. So chain up 2, chain up 2, 1 cluster, 2 clusters, 3 clusters, 4 clusters. Then you're going to do an increase in the next chain space. So half double crochet cluster, chain 1, and another half double crochet cluster into that same space. Again, you're going to do 4 half double crochet clusters and then an increase. 1 half double crochet cluster, 2 half double crochet clusters, 3 half double crochet cluster, and then 4. Now we're going to do our increase. And you're going to continue that same sequence around until you get to the end of this round. Now for our last increase of this round. 1 half double crochet cluster and 2. Go ahead and chain 1 and slip stitch into the second chain from the beginning of the round. Okay, so the next round we're going to do 5 half double crochet clusters and then an increase, 5 half double crochet clusters and then an increase. And this is actually going to be our last round of increases. One cluster, 2 clusters, 3 clusters, 4 clusters, 5 clusters, and then an increase. And that's what it should be looking like so far. So go ahead and continue that same sequence all the way around this round. So I'm now finishing off this round, going ahead and slip stitching until I get to the chain space. So for the next round, you're actually going to do no increases. Just go ahead and complete an entire round of half double crochet clusters. So chain up 2, 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochet, 3 half double crochet, chain 1. We are almost complete with this project. We just have this round of half double crochet and then a round of single crochet, and then you're done. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest off of camera for this round. So finishing up that last round of half double crochet clusters only, no increases. Go ahead and slip stitch into the top of that chain from the last row and those half double crochets until you get to the chain space. Go ahead, chain up 1, and then single crochet, normal single crochets around for the rest of the hat, and that's pretty much how we finish it off. So I'm going to go ahead and complete my single crochets, clean up all the excess yarn, and show you guys the finishing product. As I said in the beginning of this video, this is a bonus video for this week, so I pretty much kept it really simple and straightforward. But if you do have any additional questions, don't forget to comment them down below, and I do reply back. So I will be back with you guys once I finish this off and clean it all up. So this is in order, so I'm not gonna put it on my head, but this is what your bucket hat should be looking like. And I'm not even gonna hold y'all. I did not weave in my ends yet, but I'll do that later. This is what it should be looking like. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick, simple, straight to the point tutorial. Let me know if you have any additional questions, and I will see y'all on Sunday. It goes on and on and on.